Okay, it's September 6, 2015, 13:30 hours Eastern Standard Time. This is the setup video. Everything has been brought outside and set down in preparation for the day's photography and tank driving and general enthusiastic play all over the woods. So this is what we've got so far. There's one of the setup tables. There's the new Canon T5. Got a couple of the good radios out here. There's the 9X and the 9XR Pro. There's the HK6S that runs the Jagd Panther. Over here we've got another staging table. There's the TGY i6 that's currently running the Mato P3, the one that Eric likes, only his is a real fly sky. Just more setup stuff that has to be put in place before we get started. All the tanks are outside. All the buildings are in place. There's two of the hobby grade tanks there, the S33 and the 332. One airsoft on the ASP and one IR on the IBU-2. Down here we have the V2 rocket in a site that hopefully next year we'll be able to make a lot of progress on that, and we're always working towards that Meilerwagen convoy. I have ordered my first Opel Blitz from Asiatam. I got the one with electronics, and it should be here, I'd say, within about 10 days. It's already in the United States. It's got to clear customs. So here's another interesting point. I have finally obtained a ladder for the watchtower. So I made a little opening for him to get in and out of, set the ladder up. Another project over the winter, which was supposed to be a project for last winter, that is getting a detailed guard shack that I can lift the roof off, set it up maybe with a smoke unit for smoke coming out of the chimney, maybe a pot-bellied stove inside. Over the winter I want to bring these roughed-in buildings into the house one at a time. They're usually stored in the garage. Bring them in one at a time and do the detailing so that a building like this will come out looking more like this. Even though this isn't the greatest, it's got a lot more detail. At least it's got windows and doors and chimney, and you know, if I can figure out how to make the Canon work as good as Ryan does, I'll be able to get some really good pictures with buildings like this in the background. They'll be blurry enough that you won't even really be able to tell. Now, Liang mentioned taking photographs in which the model looks like the real thing, and that's not really what I'm after. I want you to still know that it's a model. I just want it to look really, really cool. So anyway, that's the setup video pretty much. I'm going to take a lot of photographs, move things around to different scenes and set stuff up and get a lot of cool pictures and videos. I got a good 4 hours to play out here before I got to start cleaning up sometime around 6. And before we go, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is, over the winter there are several projects that I really want to get accomplished. The problem is, as always, funding. So in order to try and raise the money above and beyond the regular hobby budget, which is like $10 bazillion a day, I decided that I'm going to do 3 things to help with that. One of those things is I'm going to put the ZTZ99A on the block. The problem is I have no idea what to ask for it. So you guys might be able to tell me what you think it's worth, if I should put it on eBay and auction it with a reserve, whatever. I've never done this before, so I'm looking to draw on the experience of my fellow tankers to help guide me along this path. Now this is the ZTZ99A, it's the Henglong. It's currently on Tizen 2.4 electronics. I can also include the RX-18 package with it if that becomes part of the deal for us to agree on a price and everything. It's got metal tracks. I believe they're leopard tracks. It's got metal sprockets. It's got metal idlers. It's got black steel 3-shaft mid-low gearboxes with bearings at the axle but not on the gear shafts. It's got custom-made external fuel tanks that I did myself out of nylon. It's a good running tank. I will also put in to the deal, I will also put in a pair of the 360 motors that I used in this tank to get scale speed of a scale 45 miles per hour. You may remember those from the time trial videos I did about a year ago. So that's the first item, the ZTZ99A. What do you guys think? You think anybody would be interested in it, and how much do you think I should ask for it? The next item, much as it pains me, I think I'm going to sell the anti-aircraft Walker Bulldog. Now this is a heck of a package. Starts out with the IMAX M41 Walker Bulldog with the metal tracks and sprockets. I just ordered a brand new set of black steel
high-low configuration gearboxes for it, with the bearings everywhere at the axles and the shafts and all that. They're in the mail coming to me shortly, and those will get put in here. It runs on a Clark board and the Hobby King T6 radio. It's all set up and ready to go. And one of the cool things is that if I remove 7 screws and unhook 2 plugs, I can take this hull top off and I can put this hull top on, and this hull top goes with it. This is the stock M41 Walker Bulldog tank hull top. And I also have a complete extra turret goes with it, including the airsoft unit, in case you wanted to make like an IR turret. You know, you could actually turn this tank into all 3 ways. It could have an airsoft turret and an IR turret, and then you could switch hull tops to have regular tank and the anti-aircraft fantasy tank, which, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, with the extra turret will come a couple of sprues of the stuff that go with it, like grab handles and, you know, stuff like that. Just a bunch of spare parts that go with it. So again, I have no idea how much to ask for it. I can total up what I've got into it. I mean, there's the original IMX tank, plus the Clark board, plus the radio, plus the brand new steel gearboxes, you know. Then there's the unit that came out of the half track. I have no idea what a quad 50 unit goes for. So you guys sing out and help me with this. Help me figure out how much to ask for this and just how I should go about selling it. Now, this third item is a project that I've been working on that some of you may have seen, and that is to try and come up with a reasonable facsimile for a 1/16 scale GP medium tent. And I now have all the material that I need to put together 5 kits. This is not the material that will be going on the finished tent. I have acquired Supplex, which is what the model boat guys use to make canvas sails. And mine is in olive. It's a matte finish. It looks really good. I think it's going to make a great tent. It's going to be a very simple kit, very basic. Then you can detail it as much as you want. I still haven't decided if I'm going to be able to include the guy ropes, in which case I'll get a rope from the Siren ship model and include that with the package. But right now it'll come with the tent itself, the framework, a template for the base, and all the fittings and rods and stuff that you need to put it all together. Now the purchaser will have to provide a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood, 18 inches by 30 inches, and then you'll have a paper template that you will tape onto the plywood, and that'll show you exactly where to drill your holes for the rods for the framework. So let's pull this off, and that's the framework. It's pretty simple. You'll drill the holes according to the template. Then you'll use plastic T-fittings to hook the posts to the upper frame, which will be joined with elbow fittings at all 4 corners. You'll drill your holes straight through, straight down, set the piece of wood on a flat, hard surface, put your rods in until they get to the bottom. You can use Gorilla Glue or whatever to hold them in place, or just leave them as they are if you want to. There'll be options there. And then once all the framework goes together, the tent itself will be a piece of Supplex that has been sewn into shape, and it'll just fit right over the framework. And then you're good to go, and you can continue to detail from there. Personally, I think I should have painted this brown, but that's another thing I've been thinking about too. A guy could get some, what's that company that makes all the trees and bushes and shrubs? It's not evergreen, they're the, I can't remember. But anyway, there's a whole line of that stuff out there, mainly for model railroads, and that's what I might do on this. Woodland Scenics, is that it? Anyway, you could put in grass, dirt, a couple shrubs, whatever. I've got, if I do put in the guy ropes, I've got the perfect toothpicks for tent pegs. They're actually grooved in 2 places at the end, just like a real tent peg. And it would just take a 1/16 drill in at an angle, insert the toothpick, and run your guy rope down. Perhaps fabric glue to hold the 2 pieces together. Make a little fold over with the canvas Supplex fabric, and then run the Siren ship model rope through that. We'll see. But again, I'm not sure what to charge for these things. I know materials were very expensive. Just the plastic fittings to make 5 kits were like $60. The material for 5 kits, again, over $60. So if I sell 5 kits at $300 per, that's a $300 gross. I'm probably going to have $200 in material into it for 5 kits. So you guys tell me what you're thinking and what it's worth and what you'd like to see a kit like that for, if you'd like to see it at all, what you'd be willing to pay for it, keeping in mind that all the profits go just to fund future projects and help new tankers. I've kind of gotten a reputation for being helpful to new tankers, and that's not just with the experiences that I've gathered in the last couple of years, but also, you know, I'll pick up a lot of the cost for
postage, and I'll send guys parts I have for free, and sometimes I charge. It depends on what they want and how new they are and what their budget is, but try to keep as many tankers as we can. And we just went over the 10-minute mark, boys. So those are the 3 projects that I'm thinking about to try and raise funding. Any advice, tips, suggestions, rude comments, pretty girls' phone numbers, you know the drill, boys. Post it. We want to hear it. And until then, we'll see you next time.